Hi, I'm James McGuire, editor of Datamation, and our topic today is virtual reality and augmented reality. We're here with leading futurist Robert Scoble. Robert, how are you doing today?
Doing really great.
And I know you were with Rackspace. I guess these are the last few days with Rackspace, and now you're going to go to Upload VR, correct?
That's correct. Yeah, it's a media company where they cover the VR space. They also do education and have a co-working facility, stuff like that. So.
And your actual title is going to be Entrepreneur in Residence.
Yeah, just going to hang out there and play virtual reality for a while.
Sounds like a pretty nice way to spend the day.
It's awesome.
I want to talk about where the market is going for VR and AR, but I'm wondering if there was a certain moment in your life that was kind of like the big moment where like you experienced VR or AR for that matter, but experienced VR and thought, this is really going to be changing things in a very big way. Was there a personal moment for you?
Yeah. The moment I remember is 2 years ago at Web Summit, where I got a demo of the Crescent Ray prototype of Oculus Rift, and I watched other people get a demo, dozens of people, and each one of them came out and used an expletive like, holy shit, how did I miss this? Or
right.
Mind-blowing, right? And that's continued for the last 2 years. Every time I see somebody get an experience in a VR headset for the first time, they have a smile, or they're very emotional, and they come away saying, man, that is just mind-blowing, right?
Yeah, it is amazing. I was at the recent gaming convention in downtown San Francisco, and I tried it. I tried on the goggles. I don't even know what brand it was, but I was prepared for it to be pretty cool, but to actually be in that world, it was really deeply impressed.
Yeah. So, there's the high-end headsets, the Oculus Rift, the Valve HTC Vive, and the Sony PlayStation VR, and all of them are fairly mind-blowing, and all of them are fairly similar, although I like the HTC Vive technically better because it has two sensors that you put on your walls, and it builds a 15 by 15 box, a virtual box that you can walk around in. So you don't have to just sit on a chair like I'm sitting on right now. You could actually walk around a room and play.
What's the brand on that again?
The HTC Vive.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. And what is the approximate cost of that?
The headset and the controllers are around $800, and then you need a $1,500 PC minimum. I'm probably going to spend $2,500 on a PC to get the fastest PC I can with the biggest NVIDIA card I can get.
Right. So I guess that it brings up the question. So, we talked a little about this. How far are we from really mainstream consumer use? And I guess the answer is we're there because the devices are there, but the market penetration is still going to be fairly small, is it not?
Very, very small, and in fact, they're sold out. All three of those high-end headsets have sold out. So if you bought one today, you're going to have to wait months before they start showing up in your house.
Okay.
Yeah, it's going to be a while before you have, broad penetration into, everybody's house. Probably 2 to 10 years, and that's a hard one for me to read. It depends how you define broad penetration,
Right.
Is it broad penetration in San Francisco? That's going to be different than broad penetration into, South Africa, where I just was, for instance, right?
Cool.
Although,
what were you doing in South Africa? Just curious.
Speaking at a bunch of conferences and meeting startup entrepreneurs and playing VR. Actually, there was one company down there that's building activations, and it had 3 of the HTC Vives.
Okay.
There again, I've got to watch people get the first experience on these things. Most people haven't had their face in one of these high-end headsets yet, and
right.
Even by the end of the year, the numbers of people who will have tried it, not own it, tried it, are probably going to be fairly small, in the millions, right? In the low millions.
If it gets to the million number, I'd be curious. Yeah.
No, it'll get to millions, but low millions. 5 million.
Right.
Like
right.
Because it takes 15 minutes to get a demo, and if you went to the GDC conference last week or CES in January, you had to wait in line 2 hours to get a demo. Right?
Yeah, right.
That's just a demo. That's not buying it. That's just a demo.
I've seen those lines for demos. Yeah.
You're not going to buy it if you don't get a demo, because you're not going to believe in it. So that's a real problem for this industry. It takes a long time to get a demo. It takes 15 minutes minimum, and maybe even more. Right.
Well, I mean, when it's set up at your local Best Buy, and you can stand in line there. I mean, that's good. That's going to change things.
That helps, but it still takes 15 minutes. So that means 4 people can get a demo an hour, right?
Right.
So if you have 4 people, that means in line. That means you're waiting an hour.
What about the world of augmented reality, where we see reality as it is, but there's additional information on the screen? It seems like that's going to be more of a business use case than VR.
That's going to be even bigger than VR, but it's further out. It's 3 to 5 years before it really starts hitting for consumers. You're absolutely right. That's bigger for business. Man, I don't know that it's bigger. I mean, the new Disney park and Ford cars are designed on VR today. Augmented reality puts virtual items on top of the real world. So if you are working at Caterpillar, for instance, you put on either the Meta or the ODG glasses, and it puts virtual items on top of the tractor and shows you how to fix the tractor, the $1 million tractors that they sell.
Right.
Yeah, so that's coming. But for consumer use, that's at least 3 years away and probably longer.
If people do want to experiment with VR now, is there something you suggest to them? Is just like go to a convention and get in line, or what?
No, there's levels to VR, right? You can get a free Google Cardboard. They were handing them out at South by Southwest. In fact, I have one. It's over there.
Yeah, I got one at the Google Cloud Conference earlier this week. It's pretty cool, actually. You download the app on your iPhone and you're there.
Yeah, and now you can get a taste of it. Now you don't have the controllers. The lenses are pretty crappy. It doesn't have sensors inside the device. I have a Samsung Gear VR, which you put your Samsung phone into, and it has sensors in the headset itself, which make it much more useful for looking around and stuff like that faster, right? And the lenses are a little bit better, but that still doesn't compare to the high-end headsets because you don't have the NVIDIA card. You don't have the ability to move around in this virtual box because the Google Cardboard lets you turn your head but doesn't let you do this.
Right. No, it's pretty primitive, actually. The user interface, even at the primitive level, is nothing to write home about.
No, it's a free thing, right? Designed to be free. Coachella is giving away 200,000 of these cardboard headsets, and New York Times gave away 1 million a couple months ago. So you're going to get the cardboard for free. It's going to give you a little taste of VR, so you can get an idea of some things that you can do with it.
Right.
And then you're going to have to upgrade to either one of the mobile headsets like the Ion VR, the Merge VR, or the Gear VR, the Samsung Gear VR for Android phones. Mm-hmm. Or you're going to have to go all the way to the high-end headsets or try to play those over your friend's house or something like that.
Right. Develop some new friends.
Yeah. It's going to be the hot thing at Christmas. It is. Whoever has one of these is going to be very popular at Christmas.
Christmas of 2016 will be into a bunch of be a gift item, you think, huh?
Well, already it's sold out until August or September, so you can already tell that whoever has one of these and at Christmas time is going to be the hot parent of the neighborhood.
So I mean, let's zoom up 500 feet and look at it and think. So how is this actually going to change things? How is VR literally going to impact our world in a business sense or in a social sense?
Well, it changes media because one, it's personal. You can't see what I'm looking at. So if I'm watching an adult movie, the kids can be right next to me. Hopefully not doing anything crazier than that. But it's a personal viewing space. So you can watch a violent movie with the kids or whatnot, and they can have their own movies, right?
Right.
And it's immersive. You're in the movie. You're in the video game. You're looking around. You're moving. And it's very immersive and very emotional for you to be in there. All sorts of stuff is going to change because of this. Movies are going to change. Video games are going to change. Journalism is going to change. Already, Samsung was showing off putting you into a Syrian refugee camp, and at least one CEO told me at South by Southwest that he cried in this thing. So it makes people very emotionally connected because you're in that space, right? It's not like watching it on a TV where it's sort of distant. You know, you feel like you're walking around that camp. And it's
Right, right. Is the sound? I mean, what about the sound factor? I guess you'd almost have to have a surround sound sense to really feel the Syrian refugee.
Well, the early headsets, you put on headsets and it gives you some directionality to the sound, so you can figure out, oh, the sound is coming from over there. I've seen already new kinds of algorithms that really are directional sound. So the sound goes all the way around you, all the way around your head, and you can really hear where that sound is coming from. And that's coming over the next year. And it still will need to be improved. The people even who are doing the bleeding edge of sound say they haven't figured out how to make it sound right for your environment. You know, sound bounces off things, and your ears pick up that location kind of effect, and it has something to do with how people are getting sick in these things too. Your ears are connected to your eyes, and if your ears are hearing something different than your eyes are seeing, it'll make you ill. And this is a problem with some of the VR headsets and some people, because not everybody gets sick.
Right. I've heard it does cause nausea in some people.
In some people, yeah.
Right. The concept of how it'll change things. Obviously, video games will be like the first thing it'll change. I can see movies.
Yeah. Music videos.
Music videos are great. For movies, it almost brings us back to that 1950s concept of the 3D glasses, which never really quite caught on in the 40s or 50s, whenever that was.
Except this is not just 3D. This is surround video. You look around, right?
Right.
And so when you see I did the first video at Coachella, a music video. I took 6 GoPros and recorded it. Oh. You get to look all the way around and look up at the lights and look down at the cute girl right next to me, right? You know, it's true. And you get to look around. This is very, very different than 3D. It's immersive video, and it's very, very compelling, and it's going to change journalism and movies and TV and all sorts of stuff.
Right. Who do you think, winners and losers are going to be as say VR really takes off?
Too early. Too early.
Hard to say on that one.
I'll know more, by the end of the summer. I'll have a thesis there. It looks like the early winner is going to be Sony with the PlayStation VR because of the installed base of the PlayStation. It's cheaper price, because if you already have a PlayStation, you can just buy the headset, which is $500. You don't have to buy the PC.
Right.
And there's a big video game title thing there. So it's going to come down to content, right? If Minecraft is on Oculus only, all the 12, 13, 14-year-old kids are going to force their parents to buy Oculus.
Right.
And so it's not just a technology question. It's a content question. I don't have a good answer today. I mean, all of these are bringing out unique content on them. And I just don't have a good enough answer yet for that.
Right. Well, I mean, there's winners and losers in terms of specific vendors, but in terms of the larger sense, I guess it's, for example, content creators, it's going to be more expensive, arguably, to be a content creator if you also have to create immersive content as opposed to traditional, 2D media.
Yeah, because you have to carry around rigs with 6 GoPros or new kinds of cameras that are coming out. And by the way, I see a new camera every 3 weeks. It seems like I just saw a new one yesterday that's coming out this summer. So there's a lot of unknowns. It is a little bit more expensive to create content, but on the other hand, it can be cheaper as well, because you don't have a camera crew. You stick a camera in the middle of the action and you film. You record, right? Or you broadcast. Facebook is going to come out with live video broadcasting 360 degrees soon. So,
wow, when is that happening? Would you guess?
You'll hear more next month.
Okay.
So soon.
Okay, good, cool. All right, the large philosophical question is how is this going to change what it means to be human? And I guess part of that for me is, VR seems really isolating. You're there in your little chamber.
That's a bad belief.
Disabuse me of that notion.
It looks isolating because all you see right now, unless you've had your face in one, it looks isolating because all you're seeing is the box, right?
Right. And I've had my face in one.
But I played ping pong over the internet with somebody else on an Oculus Rift. Once you're in the thing,
it was the same ping pong table?
You're not isolated anymore. You're playing with people. And this is not isolating at all. This is very connecting. So and this is part of the problem. If you haven't been inside the Facebook toy box, which is what the situation was where you're playing ping pong,
right?
You have no clue what's coming. It is very social, and it's going to connect people. But right now, it looks isolating.
You're saying that groups of people could connect into one node, so to speak, and all be together in a party atmosphere in one room. Okay.
Yeah.
So I could be.
I've only done one other person. I don't. This is again. I don't have good data. How many people can get in a room? I don't know.
Right. Right. Yeah. It doesn't seem like it would be limited. I mean, if you can.
Well, you can play one after another. You can only play ping pong against one other person. So I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. So in the larger sense of how this is going to change things, I mean, I guess it's is this a plus for humanity? This is a challenge for humanity.
I think it is, but they're you're going to be addicted to this thing. So there's an addiction thing. I don't see it as isolating. I see it as, you're not going to want to, I don't want to leave when I play.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, it's cool. It's mind blowing. It's mind blowing when you're in there.
The one time when I had a fantastic demo, pair on, it was pretty amazing. It was just like walking around in that room. It was just a room. It was colorful. Yeah. But it was pretty amazing.
Yeah. No, it's a lot of fun. Already a lot of companies are using them to build marketing activations or, what normal people call a big booth at a conference.
Right. Marketing activation. That's a fancy term. All right.
Well, at South by Southwest, Gatorade and IBM and McDonald's all had marketing activations with VR. And you go in and like in the McDonald's when you paint on the walls and you paint in the air and you throw things and blah, blah, blah. You have a lot of fun. And then you picture your work, that kind of thing. Yeah.
Cool. So a closing thought? I mean, what else, should people know about VR?
These are two huge waves of really amazing product categories coming at us. It's the next 5 years are going to be bigger than the last 20, I think. So
well, yeah, no, clearly.
Well, particularly when you get to augmented reality glasses, I think that's going to change our world very, very deeply. And you're going to put things on the real world. You're going to put virtual things on top of the real world, walking around. So think about what that means for watching sports. You go into a football stadium and all of a sudden everything's augmented. There's sensor data popping off of players. There's new ways to see the field. You can spin the field maybe or something like that. and you can get a hamburger delivered right to your seat, right? You can already do that with a mobile phone, but now you can do it with your eyes.
Right.
Just by looking at something, you can say, hey, give me a hamburger, and it comes and shows up. So
I mean, it could really be the kind of thing where you don't take the augmented glasses, like Google glasses. You really didn't need to take them off. I mean, they were socially a bust, but you can just keep them on all the time. So it's a continuous information stream.
Yep.
Set up the way you want.
Yep.
Robert, I think you have said it. I appreciate it. I'll send you the link. We can tweet it. Fantastic, man. Very interesting, and good luck with Upload VR. It's going to be neat.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that a lot.
All right. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
All right.